class, welcome back. We're going to do solving radicals. So radicals just means root. So square root, cube root. So our goal is to solve. So we're going to solve for a specific value. So most likely it's going to be x. We're trying to figure out where, and when we're talking about solving, we're talking about x-intercepts on a graph. So pretty much what you have to know is when you have a radical, to cancel out a radical, radical just means it's to the 1/2 power. All you have to do to get rid of this is just multiply the exponent on both sides by the reciprocal. So whatever the exponent is, just multiply by the reciprocal. That is why when you have a problem like this, we teach you to solve, all you have to do is take the square root, and that cancels out. So the square and the square root cancels out because of this rule here. So then we get x equals plus or minus 2. Alright, so we're pretty much solving for x. We're actually going to go straight into a problem. So let's talk about an example. Your first example is this, 6x to the 2/3 equals 36. Alright, so when we solve, we always work from our outside in from your x. So right now it's times by 6 to the 2/3 power. So to do inverse operations, we're going to get rid of this 2/3. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal to both sides. That will cancel the exponents out. You still have the 6x on this side. Here you have 36 to the 3/2 power. 3 represents your power, 3 and 2 represents your root. So we're going to take the square root of 36 cubed. So when you do that, you get 6x equals square root of 36 is 6 cubed. Right? And then how do you get x by itself? You divide by 6. So what happens here, you can use all our rules when you're multiplying, dividing, same basis, you subtract the exponents, we get 6 squared, which is 36. That means 36 comma 0 is an x-intercept. Okay, let's try another example. If I give you 4 times the cube root of 2x plus 1 equal 20. So you want to start with your outside and work your way in. So my first step here, furthest outside is this 4, so you want to divide by 4. So you have cube root of 2x plus 1 equals 5. And then it's cube root. How do you get rid of a root? You just take it to the same power. So you're going to take it to the 3rd power. So you have 2x plus 1. This cancels out. Here, you get 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 would be 125. So you're 125. Now you're just solving for x. So outside in. So minus 1. So you have 124. And you divide by 2. You get x equal, what is that, 62. Alright, so 62 comma 0 is your x-intercept. This is pretty much like quadratics when we're doing the square root method. It's very similar to that. Instead of square root, instead of having it be a square, we're actually going to be a root, and we just have to do the opposite. So when we did quadratics, we ended up square rooting both sides. Here, we're going to probably have to square both sides or cube both sides. Alright, so that concludes our lesson. Let's do our 3 practice problems, our beginner, our intermediate, and our advanced problem. Alright, let's try our beginner problem. Just 2x to the 1/2 equals 3. Okay, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to a minute. Try your best. We always say just try your best. That's always my theme. Don't give up. We'll keep practicing until we get there. Alright, by 30 seconds to a minute, go. Alright, first step, you can't root it yet. You have to divide 2 first to cancel that out. You always want to get the x by itself. And then how do you get rid of the square root, which is the 1/2 power? We're just going to times it by 2 over 1. The whole thing by 2 over 1. So this cancels out. You get 3 over 2 squared. Another rule with exponents you can distribute that. So you get 9/4. And that is your answer. Check your work, see where you made mistakes. A lot of kids like to take the root first, square both sides first. Remember, you always want to work your way out and then work your way in. So start from the out and work your way in. So times 2 is the furthest away, and then work your way in. All right? Let's check our intermediate problem. Let's see, you have x minus 6 equals cube root of 3x. This one's a little different. Your first step is we don't like radicals, so we're going to get rid of it. So square both sides, it will become quadratic. And when we know our rules of quadratic, you want to move everything to one side, set equal to 0, and then factor it. You're going to have to do one little step more. You have to just take one extra step and check for extraneous solutions. Plug it back in for x and see which ones won't work. All right? Just try your best. I know I didn't talk about extraneous solutions too much in this video, but just plug your answers in at the end. All right, give about a minute for this. Go. All right, let's take a look. You square both sides. You get x minus 6. This cancels. That's what we wanted. A lot of kids like to, a misconception, a lot of kids like to distribute this exponent. Say it's x squared plus 36. Can't do that. You can only do that if it's a multiplication. So what we need to do is actually FOIL this guy out. Distribution. So if you distribute this, you have x squared minus 12x plus 36 equals 3x. Now we know it's quadratic. We want to get by itself. So we move everything over, subtract 3x, you get minus 15x. We get 0. Here we're going to factor because it is a trinomial. Guess and check, 1 and 1. All my factors, you have 9, you have 1 and 36, 2 and 18. What do we have? 3 and 12. A few other ones, but I know that 3 and 12 will work. Because 3 and 12 adds up to negative 15 and multiplies to 36. So my answers, these are my factors from quadratic. My solutions is 3 and 12. Alright? But because we have two answers, we want to check for extraneous solutions. So we plug it back to the original problem here. So it's x minus 6 equals square root of 3x. All you have to do is see if this left side becomes negative. So 3, when I plug in here, you get negative 3. Will negative 3 ever equal a square root? Never. A square root can't ever be negative. So we know that this guy is my extraneous solution. This guy is my actual answer. Tough problem. Check your work. Double check it right now before we go to our advanced problem because we're going to do something very similar to this. All right, good job. Our advanced problem, similar. Try your best. Remember your hint, 1/2 power means square root. So how do you get rid of a square root? Do that first. Look at your intermediate problem to see what steps I should take. About a minute for this. Try your best. Go. All right, let's see. To get rid of this, you square both sides. That goes away. So you get x squared. It's quadratic again. So move everything to one side, set equal to 0. I'll move everything to the right. I like it when my a value is positive. So I'm going to move it to the other side. So I'm going to move these guys to that side. And we're going to factor this guy out. Set equal to 0. 5 and 6. Minus plus. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. So your answer is negative 5 and 6. We have two answers. Which one won't work? This one doesn't work because if I plug in negative 5 here, you get the square root equaling a negative. We can't have that. That's my extraneous solution, and this is my actual solution. So that concludes my lesson with solving radicals. Your goal is to always get x by itself. What does x represent in the situation? It's going to represent your x-intercept on the graph. So hopefully this video helped you. Please subscribe to my channel. Please turn on your notifications. Let's get ready for some more videos.